All right, let's go over the trade recap for this trade today. It's a 1 to 3 trade right there, and it's on EU. So it's a pretty simple like continuation trade. So like just the standard strategy. So basically, right now we have this daily candle right here. This is that Tuesday candle. We can see that previously all these days we were just kind of ranging. So I didn't have like a very clear bias on the daily, but we did just take out this high. So on the H4, we see that we were bearish on the H4 actually, because we have this fair value gap right here created, and we also just overall are trending downwards. And at first when I went into this day, I thought, okay, maybe we want to see us return back to this fair value gap, but I want to go down to see more confirmation before just assuming that it wants to retrace. But overall on the H4 it's bearish. The trade was here, by the way, so yeah. Then going down to the 1 hour, that's where we really see that 1 hour fair value gap right there that we were just kind of chopping around in. So on the 1 hour, if we want to go up, well, there's only 3 choices, right? It either goes up or down or just chops. So if we want to go up, then I want to see it start creating 1 hour fair value gaps and start displacing upwards. I want to see it disrespect this fair value gap. But if it wants to go down, then I want to see it respect this fair value gap. So it was still respecting that time. Yeah, so basically on the 1 hour, we see that we were still respecting a bearish fair value gap. So the bearish argument is still more valid than the bullish one. So then that's where it leads me to the 30-minute, because on the 4 hour, we see that we're bearish. On the 1 hour, we're bearish, but we don't really have a trade yet. And on the 30-minute, I want to see if we are bullish or if we're bearish. So if we're bullish, then I want it to respect this 30-minute fair value gap right here. And if we're bearish, then I want it to like pretty much run through this fair value gap, and I also want it to not close above this high if we're bearish. So basically what happened was at around 1:30 we ended up sweeping this high and having an SMT. So we took out Asian session highs right here. This is that Asian session like period. So we swept out Asian session high and went deeper into that 1 hour fair value gap, then had an SMT with GU. And that's pretty much like the strategy that I have, right? It's always have some sort of liquidity sweep, higher time frame, which is that 1 hour, and then we have drawn liquidity. So this liquidity and this liquidity right there is just the logical next liquidity. So because we have, you know, a downward trend, so the lows are always going to get taken out. And so this is that internal low right here, and this is obviously the more external low. But the reason why I put my low here at this Asian session low is because we had some like red folder news at 5, but we ended up literally doing absolutely nothing at 5. So it was just normal. There was even more like volatility here, but it doesn't really matter. But I just ended up having a lower target than a higher one, just because I want to practice you know, not being too greedy and taking the low hanging fruits, especially when it's already a 1 to 3. So that was how I chose my target. And what happened was we got this 5-minute fair value gap right here. So okay, so we had this 30-minute, right? But afterwards we basically ended up going through it, and then this time here at around 2, what happened was I saw that at around 1:45-ish we went all the way down. We created this 5-minute fair value gap right here, and we also have this 5-minute breaker right here, and we also have a 5-minute inverse right here. So this is pretty much the perfect like entry. We have, you know, fair value gap, inverse, and we also have a breaker. So, and we also have a market structure shift right here. So if it wants to go up, I think it's a pretty good entry point for us to go down. So when it was around 2:40-ish, we got that push up. So I went down to the 1 minute. Pretty much, I think I entered around in like the middle of the fair value gap, just after we took out this high, because after we took out this high, it started forming an SMT with GU at first, but afterwards GU ended up running above the 150 high anyways, so the SMT was no longer valid. But basically after we took out this high as like a liquidity sweep, I just entered there. So that was my entry there, and my target was there. So that was the 1 to 3 trade. Yeah, that's pretty much my strategy. And if you look at my past videos for this whole year, all of the EU ones that are continuations are pretty much the same as this. it's always some sort of high time frame, some sort of entry model, some sort of drawn liquidity, and either SMT or liquidity sweep, which we got both here. Something to note was that I actually took pretty small positions on this one just because of that news, like I said, at 5. So I didn't want to risk too much of a position in case the market ended up being choppy before news. But yeah, that's all for this trade. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.